morning, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Hustle. I am Rachel Bogan, and today we are going on an adventure. This is a tradition that we have started in our family. We are going to go get our Christmas tree, and we don't just go get it from a lot because Christmas trees here in Colorado have to be shipped in. They don't grow here, so they're very expensive. Instead, we go up to the National Forest out in South Park, and we go cut a Christmas tree down in a national forest. My dog likes to sit in some pretty crazy places. And this is South Park. South Park is not a town like the cartoon makes it sound like. It is a region with this giant open valley filled with grass. There's actually a North Park and a South Park and a Middle Park in Colorado. You can see them on a map. They kind of all flow out from each other, but as much as that is said, South Park is inspired by this part of Colorado. The first thing that we have to do before we can go cut our Christmas tree is go get our Christmas tree permit from the South Park Ranger Station.
Yeah, and then if you go up here on the right, just phenomenal.
One Christmas tree permit. This gives us all the instructions about what size of a tree that we can take. So we have to fit within the certain, what is it? Circumference. It has to be no bigger than?
No bigger than, yeah.
Yeah, no bigger than 6 inches around.
Circumference max.
So that keeps us from taking too old of a tree. We also have a nice and handy, wonderful map back here that reminds us of where we can cut. There's actually some private property in the United States forests, and so the national forest, so we want to make sure that we avoid those. And yeah, we are ready to go get our Christmas tree. Thank you, South Park Ranger District. Wow, those are some big bottles this year. Where'd those come from? We are finally ready to go get our Christmas tree. We have obligatory Christmassy hats on. And we are about ready to go searching because we have our saw and radar is ready to go. Let's go find a Christmas tree. Is that Daddy coming? So, funny story, we forgot to grab the actual tag that tells us how big of a Christmas tree to do. We left it at the car, so Robo, the intrepid traveler, just went back to go get it. All right, let's get in here and go find a Christmas tree. So this is a contender right here. This lovely looking little guy. We like its shape because it's tall and it has this really flat back, as you can see, which is nice because we got to put this thing up against our window and it's nice. So this is contender number one. So Robo found this one just a few seconds ago. This is another contender. It's probably taller than our roof. You can see how the undersides of these look kind of blue. Kind of, not really. But it definitely has a more bluer tint than everything else that you're looking at. And this is a pretty typical like blue spruce shape. Yeah, you've got like some coming out over here and then some coming out over there. That's pretty normal. And so, in terms of like a wild Colorado Christmas tree, this is definitely my preference. In years past when we've done this, it's been full of snow back here. So like trudging along in 1 foot to 2 feet of snow, hoping that you don't get stuck. It's, yes? Robo found something. It's a little mini Christmas tree.
That's growing really nicely too because of all the sun I have.
Mm-hmm. You'll be a nice one in a few years. Yeah, usually we're back here trudging along in snow, and this is very different being out here where there is no snow. One, it's warm, or warmer, so we don't have to be in massive snowsuits, and that's nice. And two, not having snow to trip over means it's much easier to see like the downed tree limbs and whatnot. So that's actually been a really nice thing that's making this a little bit easier than normal. So we've been wandering around trying to figure out, is there a more better Christmas tree around here somewhere. And you know, it's the way that this always goes. The first tree that we find always ends up being the better tree of all the things that we find. So after wandering around for the past, well, I'd say 20 minutes, we are back where we started. So there's always some hemming or hawing as to whether or not the tree that you pick will be the right one.
Mostly by me.
It's true, mostly by Robo. Part of it's because when you get a blue spruce, they look really pretty, but there's always this kind of baldish spot going on where there's a whole lot of nothing. And so that can be a little disconcerting, like, is this actually going to be a good tree? And the thing that I have to remember is that it's never going to look like a perfect Douglas fir. It's going to be a Colorado Christmas tree, and that's okay. And we still like them anyway. So Robo's getting ready to measure and get this tree cut down.
There's the first cut.
Notch out of the tree. Ready? Radar, come here. Radar, sit down. Yeah, sit down. Good boy. Yeah, I love you too. Ready?
You gonna say it?
Well, once it starts to fall. I don't know when that's going to happen.
Kind of looks like it might fall toward you, actually.
What there's the point of the notch?
That happened last year.
True, it did happen last year. No, there it goes.
Timber!
Ah!
Toward you.
Robo! What's the point?
Every year. You have a magnetic personality?
Yeah, I think it's a wooden personality.
So the other thing to remember when you're ever doing this is that these are not your traditional Christmas trees. Traditional Christmas trees are pretty soft. If you ever bought one from a lot or gone to a lot to buy one. And this is a blue spruce, which means it's really, really sharp. So that gets fun when you're hanging Christmas ornaments and when you're dragging out of the woods. So make sure you always have a good sturdy pair of gloves.
Yeah, basically I'm not doing anything while Robo's lugging this thing out of the woods. Now the fun job of getting it on the car.
Ready?
Yeah.
That's about where I wanted.
Moment. It is officially ours. Not that it wasn't before,
It was
but
ours when we cut it down.
it's true. It was ours when we cut it down, but no, it's ours legally. It has been a successful tree hunting day. Robo, what do you think about everything?
I think it's just jingly.
Jingly. We are home. We have all the stuff out of the car. We're about ready to bring the tree in, but first I had to make some Christmas tree fireproofing. Instead of just giving a Christmas tree hot water, you actually, throughout its season as a Christmas tree, if you give it this more glorified stuff with extra sugar, with a little bit of antifungal, some Epsom salt and borax, and some iron, you actually get a better tree for longer. And if for some reason your tree decided to go up in flames because you have too hot of a light or something on it, well, you'll have less chance of that. At least that's the general idea. It's like being in Professor Snape's class and making potions. Radar, is that a big stick? Does Daddy have a big stick? Yeah, it's like the biggest stick you've ever seen.
Why is it inside the house?
So we've got to expose part of the trunk in order to stick it into the fireproofing solution. On top of that, this tree also came in at a little bit too tall for the house, so we had to cut off a nice chunk of the tree to get started. And that's not a bad thing. Robo makes wood-burned ornaments out of the trunks, so this will go into making next year's.
Yeah.
I'll be turning these branches into swaggery and greenery for the door and for other things, just to make it look festive. And then, ta-da! That is our tree. Well, not completely. It has to sit in the fireproofing solution until tomorrow, and then we'll probably end up giving it a tweak in terms of its height. Right now it's kind of, standing sideways and looking a little sorry for itself. But yeah, this will be our Christmas tree. One of the best things that you can do, whether you are a family or you're a single person living by yourself, is to develop traditions, the things that you do throughout the year that mark certain times and mark the days that are going by. I know for me, as an entrepreneur, it's really easy to get stuck in the day-to-day and in the living the same 7 days over and over again. It's Monday through Sunday, just doing the same thing. And I have found this to be true this summer, that I have worked so hard that I was shocked when I realized it was Thanksgiving, and we just had Thanksgiving, and now I have my Christmas tree. And the thing that I love about traditions, the thing that I love about doing things that force you to slow down, is that it gives you the time to recognize how much time is passing. And it's not about making you feel old, it's making you appreciate what you have done, what you have been doing over that last season, and then taking a breath to get ready for the next one. For me, I know that this holiday season has definitely caught me off guard. I have been working too hard, but it is a necessary and a much needed break so I can hit the ground running. I already know that there's some exciting stuff coming up next week. I will be sharing more of that with you over the next couple days, things that I'm really excited about. Radar, you coming in to say goodnight? You coming in to say goodnight to everybody? Yeah, you just want to go outside. I gotta take him out, put him to bed, and then I gotta put me to bed. I will see you all tomorrow, everybody, and thanks again for watching. It's nice to share with you guys some of the traditions and some of the things that Robo and I like to do, and just let you in on how our family does things. I will see you tomorrow. Make sure to like, share, and comment. Bye.